What are the tough questions that a natural resource professional encounters in their career, and what can they do about it? Well, I'm going to introduce you to somebody who's thought about that question and has some answers. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Friedenberg, author of Intelligent Courage. The people we meet in the book encountered some tough issues. Issues like, what is our role with respect to leadership? Should a professional advocate? Should we be making recommendations? What should we do if we see that an issue is being ignored? What happens if the greed factor crops up? Can we do anything about that? And should we be talking about why our issues are important? Well, let me introduce you to Mike Domin, former chief of the Forest Service who's thought about those questions, and he has some answers.
Part of leadership is advocacy, encouraging politicians and policymakers to take on tough issues and to do so with a sense of obligation to the mandates of the resource agencies. For example, what are we going to do about the dams on the Columbia River? Are we as professionals just going to look the other way until the salmon are gone? If that's a social or political decision, that's fine, but let's not have it occur because we weren't at the table. Remember that the issues of spotted owls, clear-cutting, and roadless areas became problems because we as professionals didn't deal with the situation early enough. It was easier to look the other way and not take on these really tough issues. The longer you wait, the more decision space you lose. Just sitting by and letting nothing happen is, in reality, taking a stand on an issue. It supports the status quo. At a minimum, we need to be communicating what we do, what we know, and why the things we do are important. If we don't fulfill that responsibility, we throw the ball to the vested interests. Then, as Teddy Roosevelt said, the greed factor moves in. Fortunately, we're not selling plutonium. Our product line is all positive stuff. We're talking about scenic beauty. We're talking about water. We're talking about building topsoil. And we're talking about the quality of the air we breathe. It pays to talk about why our work is important. Red lights will then start turning yellow. Thankfully, we now understand more than ever that ecosystems are not only more complex than we think, they are more complex than we can think. So management is now more accepting of the need to continually adjust our strategies and learn as we go. It's adaptive management. That's real progress over the past few decades. But further progress depends on helping people understand and appreciate why the work we do is important at an intellectual, social, and emotional level. A real challenge in our urbanized, high-tech society is reconnecting people's hearts and minds to nature, helping them understand why our quality of life is directly connected to the health of the land.
The lesson learned is that the professional is, in fact, always advocating, even when they remain silent. The question that comes after that, however, is, what do you do about it? The 8 people we meet in the book have thought about that question, and they share their ideas about how they manage that situation in a way that worked for them and can work for any professional.